Parfois, nous avons besoin de conseils, d'être guidés dans la vie. Il y a 10 ans, Saira Easton s'est retrouvée dans une situation similaire. Elle a décidé de prendre sa vie en main après avoir expériencé quelques moments difficiles. Aujourd'hui, après 10 ans de réflexion, elle a écrit un livre pour aider les personnes qui se retrouvent dans des situations similaires à la sienne. Dans cet épisode de MOTS et ECRITS, elle va nous raconter ses expériences et elle va aussi nous parler de son livre intitulé Evolve.
I was born in the UK to two Mauritian parents. My father came over in the 70s. He came from a very poor background, and he sold milk door to door with his mum to earn money for airmail letters to send them to England for a nursing training post. When he eventually got that, he cut a new path for himself. And I think part of who I am is the same kind of determination to succeed in something that matters to us. Growing up in England, I did my degree there. Managed to kind of mount through the career ranks very quickly, became head of talent for Thomson Reuters, so I was involved in helping to develop leadership development programs, coaching programs. And then when I hit about 29, I was starting to burn out, starting to get really stressed, tired, and I still had my dad an almost kind of work ethic of like push, right, I can succeed, and so detached from my body. I didn't know self-care, I didn't know well-being, and so I started to kind of feel exhausted, get stressed, and I started also to suffer from anxiety, which was completely new to me. And I remember at the time my workplace saying, "Saira, you can't talk about this here. You need to go and sort it out." And the thing is that I went to try and go and sort it out. But in doing so, I felt like, but I can't put on the mask anymore. I can't actually go into my corporate office that's this global role, be head of talent for representing 2,000 people, and keep this like armory going. And so I quit my entire career overnight, to the surprise of everybody. I said to my husband, look, we were going to go backpacking anyway, let's take this opportunity, do a career break. I did some therapy, learned a lot about where this anxiety was coming from, and realised so much of it was attached to my limiting beliefs about who I was and what I was worth. I didn't realise that I was fighting to present something that was perfect, or pleasing others, or rescuing others, these kind of roles I'd taken on, even though they were connected to my desire to help people. So we went backpacking, and because I was tired, my immune system was low, I caught viruses in Borneo, in the jungle, in India, took antibiotics, got a bit better, not completely. I arrive in Mauritius to come see my dad and my extended family, and I think, okay, let's spend like 6 months here. I always wanted to get to know the older generation where I came from, so I thought, this is what we're going to do for 6 months. I catch one more bug, my immune system, my organs start shutting down, my brain shuts down, I go into partial consciousness, start having seizures, which I'd never had before. I get rushed into Rosbell Hospital. My dad and my husband and the doctor stand over me, trying to decide should they put me into an induced coma to stop brain damage and to save my life. And in the end, they give me such a high dosage of medication that I'm just knocked out for 2 weeks. And there was one point before I kind of lost awareness. I had this like complete belief everything's happening for a reason. And I just remember that moment like so crystal clear. It was like this complete peace, certainty, almost like joy in the most unpredictable circumstance. And then what happened is, physically, I was in a mess. Doctors, medical papers say I shouldn't have survived. I went back to England because they didn't know exactly what was wrong. I saw doctors everywhere. No one knew exactly, but they kept throwing medication at me to solve different systemic problems. I became completely disabled. I was in my mum's apartment. My husband went back out to work. I'm now 30 years old, and I'm laying in bed thinking, this is not what I had in mind, you know. And I never ever lose hope, but I'm like looking and searching. Then on my phone I find this meditation, which is a kind of healing meditation, and I've never done meditation before. And I remember again having this sense of peace, and I hadn't felt that peace since the hospital. And in this kind of state of peace, I started to use visualization, like really powerful visualization. I started to see and imagine the better version of myself, the fit version, the one who wanted to do all the things that I felt I physically, mentally wanted to be able to do. And the one image that I randomly chose was playing tennis, because I remember playing tennis as a kid, and to me it represented like strength, agility, fun, because I was always very sporty as a child. And after that meditation, I remember getting out of bed because I was so ill I couldn't stand, walk, eat. My mum was even feeding me. And I started to see that I'm going to walk 5 minutes today. I'm going to walk then 10 minutes the next day. I'm going to walk 15 minutes. Within a few weeks, I'm walking 45 minutes down to the local greenery and park. Everything's changed. I stopped the medication. These doors keep opening. I do the meditation every day, but I make up my own version. I think I just listened to the relaxing music in the background, whatever it said, and I just went into my own visualization. I brought more and more things in. 6 months later, I say to my mum, look, Mum, thanks for looking after me. You've been an angel, but it's time for me to carry on with my life now. I think I'm ready to move out and start our next stage of life. So me and my husband go and rent an apartment, and I carry on this meditation. And then one day in the meditation, I get this strong instinct that the next step of my progress is go to this yoga ashram in the Catskill Mountains in America, the other side of the planet, and train in yoga and meditation. I came back a month later. Again, mind, body, spirit completely changed. We can all do this. We can all uncover all of the rubbish, all of those limiting beliefs, and tap into the gift of who we are, our passion, our potential, our purpose. We all have it. I start using these tools. I started thinking to myself, look, this stuff can't just stay in me. I keep using it and developing new and new techniques for personal change. And so I start running workshops around London, all the different yoga centres, meditation centres, workplaces, and I start sharing workshops that I've made up for how we can all tap into the intuition, hear what we need most, and uncover what we need in our life and our work. So then I had my second child, and me and my husband say, you know that land we had in Mauritius? Do you think we should go there one day? Like, you know, we both felt this call to do something completely different. His parents were expats, so he'd always wanted to live abroad. He loved Mauritius. And I knew I had to be in Mauritius. But I was scared too. I didn't know what it meant. It was, you know, a big deal to take my family, relocate. We'd built the house gradually, and just 3 months before lockdown, we flew out. We arrived with a 7-month-old and a 3-year-old. The house wasn't even complete. Obviously, we went into full lockdown at my dad's place. And then about like a few months later, whenever it was, we built the place, moved in. And then basically when the little one had gone to school, nursery, I opened up my laptop one day and I said, okay, what am I here to do? Because it's something and I don't know what it is. I start writing and it becomes the book. 1 whole year, writing. the book was full of tears, joy, realizations, because I knew it wasn't for me, it was for my country. I knew it suddenly for my ancestors, for the continent even. And I started to I used meditation throughout the process, and I started to come up with this process. I was just like, 3-step process. Release self-limiting beliefs, remember our passion, our purpose, our potential, and then realize, self-realization. Take that purpose and make it work in the world, bring it out there. And I started to see that the place I wanted to do it most to start was corporates. Because I'd been in corporate before and I never thought I'd be going back. But I saw that if we could unlock leadership at that level and self-leadership, the ripple effect on the country and the way that the country was going for its prosperity could be incredible.
Okay. So today you are a conscious leadership consultant, and when people come to you to find themselves, what do they expect after you've helped them?
So I think what they expect is never what happens. It's better. Because I think people come in with just what they know for now. So they often think it's like, okay, I want to deal with my stress workload, my burnout. I want to know how to help to manage my team better. I want to learn how to retain my team. So they come in with the problem. And then the approach that I use is always an approach of self-discovery that taps them into a solution that is far deeper with a bigger ripple effect. So I think that the effect on people when they leave, like I know when I run workshops and my husband helps me set up sometimes, and then he sees people at the end when he comes and he's just like, he sees the smiles. People change. And this is my idea of personal transformation, is like, you don't need to go to do another degree, an MBA or master's degree. We don't need to learn any more clever things. We just need to unlock something inside of us, in our hearts. So people change. They change fundamentally from the inside.
When describing the book to other people, you mention the words authentic power and inner wisdom. For people who are unaware, it may be a bit confusing to understand what you mean. Could you maybe please elaborate on what it is for you?
So I think in the past, power, when we think of power, what is it we bring up in our mind? Is it Superman? Is it a male? Is it someone in a suit? We tend to have stereotypes of what power is. Authentic power to me is something so strong and gentle at the same time. It's an energy. It's a charisma. It's a sense of being deep inside all of us. And it's this idea that when we get still enough to stop the noise, to stop the thoughts, the beliefs of who we are, then we just connect with it and emanate it. And it gets translated as words that are real to us, our authentic language, what we really want to say in the world, how we really want to show up and express ourselves, how we really want to connect with people. It dissolves the kind of fear, the shame, the guilt, all these kind of shackles that we hold. And from that is a power to change things.
And as someone who's been through so much but has also learned from all these experiences yourself, why do you think that it's important for people today in the world that we live in to unlock those parts of ourselves?
We just can't carry on as we are. I think some people are currently looking for solutions. Some people are in the process of self-discovery and change. Some people are still in denial. Left in denial, take it from me, we don't want to be there. That was where I was before something terrible hit me. I think that the only way forward at the moment is this awareness of who we are, deepening that self-awareness so that we can navigate the void, navigate the change from our strongest compass inside. We're in an age where no one can tell us now what to do and how to do it. And that's always been life before. But it's just not going to work. We can't fix tomorrow's problems with yesterday's solutions. So I just think it's a critical point in history that we have to go within.
And you wrote this book in order to help people learn a bit more about the things that they can do by themselves. What do you hope people are going to gain after they've read the book?
Something really simple. I want people to feel at peace. At peace with who they are. This idea that we're not bad, we're not all these labels that we've given ourselves. And that if they come out knowing that, knowing and uncovering the truth of who they are, with that passion to know what they want to do with it, to me that's a miracle. Like every single person that reads the book, when they come back to me and they say how it's shaped or changed them, even one little small thought, my heart sings, I'm just like, wow, it's doing its job. And what's more to me, when I wrote the book, I also constantly had in mind the training program that will go together in the coaching program. So I'm really thankful that I've managed to get a HRDC approved, MQA approved training course that's 2 days that goes exactly with the book. So this is the chance where you've read the book or maybe not read the book, and I can bring people into a classroom together or wherever the venue is, and using some of my deeper transformational skills, the yoga, the meditation, the coaching, journaling, etc., we give people the chance to go through the book in person. And that's the bit that I cannot wait to really roll out in the country across as many places as possible, because I think that when people get together with this common aim of tapping into something more significant and profound inside them, it just has this magnifying effect of unlocking things. So yeah, the 2-day program and also the coaching program, because I think for some people we need to be more intimate, more safe, so that they can uncover some of those limiting beliefs in a more of a one-on-one format. So I've got a 6-session coaching program that goes with the book as well. So when I designed it, I always saw that this is a multifaceted thing, so that we can touch people from different ways, tools and dimensions.
And what is one misconception that people usually have about what you do?
I think the thing that springs to my mind is people thinking that it's religious. I think that there is no association with a religion. It's all so universal. To me, it's a direct experience. It may incorporate things like energy, but this is a metaphysical, scientifically proven thing. Like, think when you meet someone and you just feel something. It's an energy. So I think I would really like to normalize. I'm not a scientist, but I know there's loads of science on it. Bring the facts out there so that people aren't intimidated by it, and that it's not a weird, strange thing, but it's something just magical. And we're allowed to have magic in our lives. In fact, we should.
How do you feel about how you yourself have evolved from the person that you were at 28, 29 years old to the person that you've become today?
I feel so blessed to live a life of miracles. I think that it's so powerful to me how miracles unravel. That it was really clear to me right from the point that I was in the hospital 10 years ago that this isn't going to stay inside me. This is going to come out for as many people as it can. because it's supposed to be how we live. Life is supposed to be magical, it's supposed to be a miracle. And sometimes we reserve and we confine it to the places we feel socially acceptable for it to come out. The birth of a child, the awe of an incredible waterfall. You know, we wait for that holiday period where we're so stressed, we finally get off the plane, get to the hotel, and then we see like a beautiful scene. We wait for these tiny bits, but they're always everywhere. And the more quiet we get, the more connected we get to our authentic power, the more we see our uniqueness, what gifts we have, and we create opportunities to bring them out if they're not already there in the country, which is exactly where Mauritius is, then we can all live miraculous lives. So yeah, for me, my life, I'm blessed. I'm human too, so I mess up all the time. I make mistakes. I'm not completely meditative all the time. And that message I really want to get across to people too, because that is the unraveling. It's constantly meeting our true self and going, hey, that's okay though. Meet it with love, you know?
Finally, if you have something to say to people who are watching you right now, talk about your experiences, and to the people who are going to read this book after they've watched it, what would you like to tell them?
That we're all mirrors, and that whatever they pick up or see in me is a reflection of what's in them. I never put myself above anybody. I show the humanness, like I said, the faults and the light and the shadow of me. And what I want is that if people resonate with something that they have liked or seen or heard, that they can turn the mirror back around and see it in themselves. Because I see it. I walk around and I give people benefit of the doubt. I get told in Mauritius, don't trust this person, you know, or they're after this and that. Maybe, but maybe there's also something also brilliant inside them. So I want everybody who is watching this to know how deeply worthy and deserving they are of knowing, holding, embracing and expressing their deepest human potential and their gifts. Bring it out to the world, celebrate it, express it, co-create with other people with it. I said if we can even make tiny few changes with that, my work's done.
C'est ici que prend fin cette édition de MOTS et ECRITS. Au plaisir de vous retrouver pour le prochain épisode. À très bientôt.